Hey guys, so I watched the third episode of the second season of Mr. Robot last night, and I gave myself a night to kind of sleep on it, get some rest, let it digest, and kind of had a little bit of time to think about the episode and kind of what I thought about it. And I gotta be honest, I'm torn. I really enjoyed the first season, especially the first half of the first season and especially that first episode. I've said that a dozen times. Um, I was so excited about this show when I saw the first episode, and then the second, third episode were still pretty good, and then it slowly started to kind of dwindle down, and then the last few episodes of last season kind of lost me. They were just a little too weird, even for me. Just the whole him being Mr. Robot, it just felt way too, Fight Club meets the what's that movie with DiCaprio, The Island or whatever, where he's like a psych patient. Spoiler alert. But anyways, like it was predictable. I'd seen it before. Um, and in the first two episodes, not to rehash too much of this season, but I didn't like the first episode. But then the second episode kind of got me back on board a little bit. And then this episode was kind of the exact same way, where the first half was like he's like talking to himself and he's throwing up, and it's not entertaining. It's just weird. In the second half, they have some intriguing stuff with the girl. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's hanging out with the CEO, and there's some weird stuff going on with the guys who were in the room whenever they made the decision that got her dad killed. And then we see the best scene for me by far was when Elliot kind of starts to snap back into what we saw in that first episode of last season, where he goes off on the religious people, and you see those he goes on that tangent and kind of gets back in that rant mode, and you kind of see that blend of like Elliot and Mr. Robot becoming one person and being that cool badass hacker character that I enjoyed so much in the first episode, or the first half, of last season. Um, but we really got that in the first episode of last season. And whenever he's sitting on and I know I'm rehashing a lot, but just to kind of give you a juxtaposition of why I am so torn about this episode and this season in general. Whenever he's sitting on the couch of the lady who's like his shrink or whatever, and he's sitting there talking to her, and and he's in his head, and he's like, f the system, screw society, and this and that, and this is why, and it's all fake, and Bill Cosby and all that stuff. That was really cool and really interesting. And then you see that he's talking to himself, and it's still pretty cool, you know. Because you're like, oh well, something's gonna happen with this. These feelings he has pent up about the system and how it's all lies. And then we got a little bit of that in this episode, and that's why I liked it, and that's why I'm gonna continue to watch it. I just really hope they go more towards that and less towards the crazy talking to himself, choking himself against the wall. It got too weird for me. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I know it's really popular. This show is, so I don't know if I'm alone in this. I know I've talked to a few of my friends, and they had similar feelings, but I also know some people who love pretty much every episode. So comment below and let me know what you guys thought about this episode, because I am curious to know if I'm in the minority or if a lot of you feel like, yeah, it gets a little weird sometimes. But anyways, it's still a pretty cool show. So thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.